in something. Well, okay, I'm glad you're here. Just kidding. I like, well, the slide that was up there first is "We're glad you're here," and it really fits this song, right? Get the blood going, y'all. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you are here. I want to share my love with you. I'm glad you are here. Yes, I'm glad you are here. I want to share my love with you. For we are one, we are one, we are one, we are one, for we are one in the company of love. For we are one, we are one, we are one, we are one, for we are one in the company of love. I'm glad you are here. Yes, I'm glad you are here. I want to share my love with you. Yeah. Welcome, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Well, let's gather around and greet each other. And if you're listening on Facebook, it's time to sign in. Okay, if we can have our seats, please. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jack Porter, a member of Unity of the Hill Country. We welcome you to the Unity of the Hill Country, where we offer a positive path to spiritual living. And give a warm welcome to our speaker and musician today, David Rosenblad. Please join me now in the opening prayer as we join together in heart and mind to celebrate the presence of divine. And we with peace and to find the joy of the universe filling our hearts with love. May we experience health, wholeness in all levels, mind, body, and spirit. The Christ candle is lit, calling forth our awareness of the Spirit. As it lights and shines, we set our intentions to awaken inspiration, guidance, and remembrance of the divine nature. May the flame remind us that Christ's light lives within us and among us. Please join me in the our mission statement to live consciously, celebrating the divine potential in all. And the statement of faith: there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, the good, the omnipotent. As well as our vision statement, revealing oneness in the world of universal peace, love, and abundance. And then we have an affirmation for, as we search for our new minister. It is with thankful hearts that we attract the right and perfect minister for unity of the Hill Country. Welcome to your new home. Affirmation prayer is essential in the unity movement. We are honored to pray with you. All written prayers requests are sent to 24/7 Prayer Visual and Silent Unity. You can also call the number on the screen to have someone pray with you, or you could submit your prayers online. Now let us pay attention to our sacred prayer chest. Each name request placed within is held in the light of divine love and infinite wisdom. We affirm that perfect healing, guidance, peace, and joy are already at work in each life. Let us take a moment to hold the space for all our prayers in our congregation, in our community, and in the world. We release these prayers into the care of the Spirit, trusting all is in divine order. And we have a daily word today. We were given this movement from 1924. So let's join with millions of daily word readers throughout the day and out the world, and let's have Danny come up and give the daily word. My fellow board member.
Thank you, Jack. I don't know why they picked me for this one. The word for today is discovery. I'd like you to join me in the affirmation. As I discover, I learn and grow. I spent 30 years traveling around the world with the United States Navy, and I've been to a lot of places. Some I didn't want to go to, but I got there anyway. My life is a journey of discovery. Over the years, I may have traveled to other lands, discovering new cultures and landscapes. Through my exploration, I learned all kinds of things and have grown in all kinds of ways. My spiritual life has been a journey of discovery as well. Through my spiritual practice, I have deepened my understanding of God and of myself as a spiritual being. I have discovered the new landscapes within myself as I have communed with God in prayer and have changed my life through the power of my thinking. As long as I live, I will find more to discover. Questioning, learning, and growing help me to discover the wonders within and all around me. From Jeremiah 33:3, call to me and I will answer you, and will tell you great and hidden things that you have not known. If you'll join me again in the affirmation, as I discover, I learn, and I grow.
Thank you, Danny. Now it's time for David's lesson, but first of all, if you would please stand, we're going to have a congregation song called Oneness.
Oneness, yes. This is actually from the Wings of Song book, so it's a fun one.
I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I now let go. I now let go. There's nothing to fear. I realize there's only one power. 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 And I realize that I'm one with the one. I realize that I'm one with the one.
Yeah, that's one of the catchier ones off the out of that hymn book. It's really nice. So, am I up now still? Oh, wow. Okay. Got to retune. It's, you know, I could either be switching from piano to guitar or changing my tuning on the guitar. So, it's because I care, though. I have a song, brand new song, called The Four Ways of Knowing. And it's a mellow song. I just finished writing it. And I say it's a mellow song. I hope y'all don't fall asleep. I hope I don't fall asleep. Well, more about that in a minute. But anyway.
The four ways of knowing of who I am and where you are. Inner life is growing through these ways of knowing. The four ways of knowing you were there and showed me what to do. The ways of truth. Up for the giving and receiving. Let's not forget forgiving. Through these ways of knowing and the ways of thinking, intuiting, sensing, and feeling. Think it through. Where are you? This knowledge leads to wisdom. The four ways of knowing of where I am and who you are, guiding me where to go. And this I know, intuiting the dream, sensing truth, and feeling what these dreams mean. Like butter and sense like no other. And these ways are thinking, intuiting, sensing, and feeling. Think it through. Where are you? This knowledge leads to truth. As knowledge grows, ways of knowing. The four ways of knowing who you are. May it be the best so far. Thank you.
Well, you stayed awake, and so did I. Yeah, it's the 4 ways of knowing. Let's just pause for a second for another prayer with me for a moment. I affirm I have the wisdom to make decisions that are right for me and the courage to follow through. With each choice I make, I gain poise and confidence. With every step I take, I have faith. I am moving in the direction of my unfolding good. This I know, and so it is. Yeah, the 4 ways of knowing. Some of you may know me. I've been traveling the last few days, and I've had kind of a rough I went from San Marcos up to DFW area, and I had to do a bunch of recording for a mariachi group up there for TMEA, Texas Music Educators Association. I did get to stay with my daughter for a moment. That was nice, who lives up there with her husband. But then I had to come all the way back down, and I said, you know, last night I came back through, and Paul McCartney's playing in San Antonio. And this may be his last tour, I've heard. And so I went, and here I am. I've had 3.5 hours of sleep. But, you know, commitment, right? The 4 ways of knowing. Now, the 4 ways of knowing, which is the title of that last song, as you may have noticed, is also the title of this talk. The 4 ways don't stand for John, Paul, George, and Ringo. If anybody, you know who I am. But anyway, this was an interesting journey. It was beautiful. Knowing what? You say the 4 ways. Knowing what? Well, how about prosperity of a deep knowing, a knowing that leads to wisdom? Now, I find it healthy and fun to explore many things with different levels of mind, and we'll get into that in a minute. But it's up to you to decide what you're exploring, of course. A good start, though, is knowing through divine mind action that no matter what happens, we are the divine within, called by some children of God more traditionally, right? That's the same thing Jesus was talking about in Luke when he's talking about the kingdom of heaven. Neither shall they say, look here, look there, for behold, the kingdom of heaven is within. Exactly, the divine within. And that's what we call it in unity, of course. And that's a good start, I think, for trying to know something. Now, a little more unity metaphysics. Ray, if you could switch the slide, please, just so you guys can see me blabber through this. From Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, our most important study is our own mind, not only the intellectual mind, but the spiritual mind. Know thyself was inscribed on the temple of Apollo at Delphi, and it must be inscribed on our own temple, over the door of our mind. Mind that permeates. That's from Keep a True Lens. Not just in your head, but wherever mind is, right? Know thyself. Know who and what you are, where you came from, what you're doing here, and where you're going. If you want to know all this, how, one says? Meditate upon the I am, something we'll do shortly. Now, the term 4 ways of knowing, I would eventually get to this, right? It's also called the 4 functions of consciousness. And this concept was originally created by the famous Swiss psychiatrist, Carl Jung. And to give credit where credit's due, this was brought to my attention by Unity minister Suzanne Carter of Colorado, who's also a therapist, who wrote beautifully about it. And you're probably wondering what these 4 functions of consciousness actually are, or 4 ways of knowing, as I like to call them. They're called both, but I think for a song, 4 ways of knowing works better, right? 4 functions of consciousness. Nah, that doesn't cut it. I think it flows better. Let's look at these a little more deeply. Can you switch slides again? All right, thank you. I'll stop bugging you guys in a minute about that. Well, so the 4 ways of knowing are thinking, intuiting, sensing, and feeling. And to go a little deeper into what those are, I sang about them, but thinking has to do with our beliefs, our thoughts, our intellect, our cognitive abilities, and they're commonly associated with things going on in your head, right? Intuiting has to do with the deep inner knowing, something we don't really consciously think about where it comes from. Somebody asks, why'd you do that? My intuition told me. Sensing is bodily knowing, as in gut level knowing. It's related to intuition, but it's also more in a body awareness way. The chill, the spine, you're just sensing things using your 5 senses or more. And feeling our emotions and feelings. Now, speaking of emotions, Suzanne Carter also said that people like to spiritualize emotions, and this does not help and is in fact unnecessary. And I call that sort of thing spiritual bypassing. You've probably heard that term before. Our emotions are part of our God-given ability to understand ourselves and our connections to others, our connections to God, our connection to the awareness of the divine within each and every one of us. And that's the oneness we sang about in that congregational song. So keep that in mind. And since we're made in the image and likeness of the divine, would not our feelings be part and parcel of who we are? Know thyself. We experience all these different levels in real time, but they're quite different how we approach things. The healthiest person around will have a good balance of all 4 of them, of all 4 functions. And that's what Jung was talking about in his work in this area. The challenge today, though, I think that the mighty intellect, or lack thereof in some cases, dominates the way we get information about ourselves and others. Now, I used to live way too much in my head. I don't know if any of you guys used to, but I used to, it's not following your heart. And that's the way of looking at things through the brainy, intellectual way. But as research has shown, there are different aspects of the mind, the energy that is mind, and as we know, everything is energy, including matter. They exist and express and manifest throughout the body, particularly in the heart area and the solar plexus. And I'm sure some of you have heard of heart math. Sound familiar? There's some wonderful research, really fascinating stuff, done by Greg Braden and others in the Heart Math Institute. Just fascinating. Now, it really does change your focus on how to approach things that happen in your life, such as problems, events, from different levels of mind. Like the saying goes, follow your heart. Now, speaking of knowing, a little story here. When I was much younger, I was a fanciful composer and sound designer doing some really wacky stuff. I mean, avant-garde music and things of that nature. And we'd be at a gallery or something, and I'd get annoyed with somebody who would say, well, I know what I like. And I'd like flip the tables. Think about this for a minute. What if you said you like what you know, in a different way of looking at art and things like that? Just a little aside. And one thing I found in dealing with tense situations that come up is using these mind techniques is something called the 5-second check-in, not to be confused with the 5-second rule. You know, you've ever heard the 5-second rule? If you drop it on the floor, you can still eat it after. But I didn't, because I have to talk. But the 5-second check-in is a really beautiful thing. You want to do it with me? Say you just had an argument with your partner, your wife, your husband, a coworker or something, and you're getting all revved up to be reactive and stuff, and just pause. Take a deep breath. Put a hand on your heart, whichever one feels good, and ask yourself, what am I feeling? What am I needing? And what is mine to say or to hold, not to say? I find that a wonderful way of dealing with and tuning up emotional intelligence, something I was very poor at for many years. And I think it helps with self-awareness Awareness being key to dealing with any tension or conflict. Awareness. Did you guys feel that at all when you're just thinking about attention? Something comes up. I've tried it in traffic. Well, I can't keep my eyes closed too long, but but still, it does. These are really practical things, and I think there's no wonder. I think Unity, for many years, was known as Unity School of Practical Christianity. No matter how much spiritual depth that there is, and it's just tons of it. I mean, that's why we're here. But that practical aspect really plays to form, I believe. And I need to say this, speaking of that, and get real for a moment here. There is some sort of false pretense among some spiritual communities that negative emotions should be avoided at all cost, sometimes at the risk of avoiding truth. And I agree, we should never focus on fear. Certainly not fear that's the opposite of love. Certainly not divisiveness in trying to control people. Fear, though, is there are times when the authentic emotion of fear is used to cause us to act, to get out of danger in a moment's notice. Just like it's valid to feel sadness when you've had a loss, when you've experienced that, or anger at times when you feel like boundaries have been violated. As long as we try our 5-second check-in, if it's at times, and as long as we realize the joy and love of connection, of connecting to our truest and most authentic self, the divine within, that's really getting to the heart of the matter. And that's what we're digging into, trying to get through all these 4 levels of consciousness. I was originally going to do a talk today on prosperity. I think I'm going to do that in a couple of weeks, actually. But that's not too far off the mark, because prosperity enters into many things in your life, including prosperity of knowing that leads to wisdom. We'll get there in a minute, too. But a prosperity of, we all want something in our life, abundance, different situations, prosperity of wonderful thoughts, prosperity of, if we need abundance in funds for things, abundance, how about a prosperity of abundance of joy, deep knowing. I love the aspect of deep knowing that leads to wisdom. And wisdom is a mighty way to end up dealing with aspects of one's life. A prosperity of abundance leading to wisdom. And I find that I think a lot more about wisdom these days as I've gotten older. Used to never really think about it, but and wisdom is, of course, one of the Unity 12 powers, right? This is from Psalm 90. Teach us to our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. A heart of wisdom. That's what's beautiful about it. That doesn't require much metaphysical interpretation, really. Teaching us from within, the divine within. Using that method to see the knowledge that leads to wisdom. And I believe Jesus' discernment, I've replaced the word judgment with discernment in my just in my vocabulary, because I think it's a kinder, more loving way of using it, because judgment can be confused with judgmental. So I think his discernment and wisdom went far beyond the perception and knowledge and a discernment of even the most learned men of his day, of course, because his faculty of knowing was developed by a conscious acquaintance of source. He was always aware of that, and a desire to express the wisdom of spirit. And now, he never drew conclusions simply from intellectual knowledge, as many of us often do, and certainly used all functions of consciousness. Again, looking at the wisdom of, as one of the 12 powers, the center that is associated with it in the Unity 12 powers, that faculty, is the 3rd chakra, which happens to be the solar plexus area, conveniently. The area behind the heart and stomach that's sometimes also referred to as the body brain, interestingly enough. the color is yellow, if you're visualizing it in meditation. And the syllable, if you do chakra meditation in yoga, is Ram. There's a whole series of syllables associated with the chakras, Lam, Bam, Ram, and so on. Now, harboring unloving, critical thoughts really react particularly on the wisdom center, as in the solar plexus area of the body. And that may result in ailments such as ulcers, indigestion, and other difficulties of the stomach, including in the heart as well. Now, on the other hand, when we learn to exercise that faculty of discernment within the inner illumination of spirit here, we will automatically, I believe, experience a greater degree of physical health. This and that is the deep knowing of the Christ consciousness that is within each and every one of us. And it's better to know it than to not, using the knowing. Serendipitously, there was a Daily Word just a few days ago that said this. I thought I would quote that. I affirm I have the wisdom to make decisions that are right for me and the courage to follow through. With each choice I make, I gain poise and confidence. True knowing leads to wisdom. And of course, it wouldn't be a talk of mine if I didn't do some sort of quote from, some of you may know this, the Tao Te Ching. It just kind of enters into my being sometimes. I actually seek it out, but I love it. It's fun. From verse 33, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength, but mastering yourself is true power. If you realize that you have enough, you are truly rich. If you stay in the center and embrace life with your whole heart, you will endure forever. As we do anyway, but I thought that was nice. Since we are spiritual beings living in physical body, divine mind is eternally within us as we go on our soul journeys in and out of this life. Oneness. Now, before I get to my closing song for this talk, one of the things I would want to know through the 4 ways of knowing would be acknowledging and knowing the love that we all are. How? That would be through self-love, self-acceptance, self-love, knowing who you are through the 4 ways of knowing, leading to wisdom and the knowledge of the love we are. Thank you. I'm not really done, but I'm just having to move over here with the piano. And I won't eat that cookie I dropped on the floor. Speaking of the love you are, there's a song that I want to do called I See Love. It's one I wrote a few months ago. And if you know this, if you've ever heard this, sing along with me when we get to the chorus. I see love as we are. Love is the strongest power that. It's a song about self-reflection and self-love. What do you see when you look in the mirror? When you look deeply, does a truth become clearer? And how do I feel dipping my feet into this water on this new journey with horizons that are broader? Why is it hard to learn to love yourself? What? It heals the divisions between ourselves. How? You can only love others to the depth that you can love yourself.
What do you see? I see love as we are. Love, it's the strongest power through each day and hour. When I look at you, I see love. Someone once said, if you want to change the world, you need to learn to love yourself. 'Twas an angel in a dream that was telling me to get my journal back off that shelf. And can I see love as the spark in my spirit and my soul? Like these waves slowly rolling in, making me whole. Why? I'm here to help raise the vibration of the earth. We are one in this co-creation. How? When I look deep inside and find out what I might be, what do I see? I see love as we are. Love, it's the strongest power through each day. As I stand here now with my arms open wide, embracing the beauty that's deep down inside, I see love in this story I tell. For the earth, for the water, I can feel it so well. What do you see? I see love as we are. Love, it's the strongest power, undeniable power. When I look at you, I see love. We can learn to love ourselves. We can learn to love ourselves.
Thank you. You may want to get the lights down a little bit now. Coming off that loving, glowing feeling. And start preparing for meditation. And just get quiet in your seat in a comfortable posture. Feet on the floor, hands in your lap, in whatever way you like. And to start focusing on your breath. In fact, let's take a deep breath, maybe 3, and let it all go. Another one. And one more. And just know, if you can just keep focusing on your breath in this knowing of the love you are. And if you have a mantra or an affirmation that you prefer, just say that to yourself now. And just anchor into that in the center of your knowing being. And just know that divine love's healing and harmonizing power flows within and from you in each and every one of us as our hearts beat to the rhythm of this divine love that we are. Just keep focusing on this breath or affirmation, like I am that I am. If you have any stray thoughts that wander in and out, like they often do, just bless them with the light of your love and let them go. And letting go of anything negative that pops up. And just healing it with the knowing divine love that you are. And just know that you're always in the place, in the deep, loving center, in the realm of all the possibilities that are there for you. With that prosperity of knowing and abundance, of healing and wholeness, and harmonizing love in all encounters. And just hold on to that as we enter the silence. And just slowly start coming back into this space here, in this time. Start wiggling your fingers, maybe, your toes. Feeling the air around you. Whenever you're ready, just slowly open your eyes.
Thank you,
Y'all
Dave.
awake?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do we have any first-timers here today? If you are out there in Facebook Live or YouTube, we're glad you're here. We hope that you find this place of like-minded people and a place to belong. We teach spiritual tools that can help you no matter what you're doing in your life or what's going on in your life. If you like, contact the church out there in YouTube, and we will send you a welcome packet. Okay, now there's an opportunity to support our spiritual cooperative. We are prepared, as we prepare our gifts, we recognize that giving is an act of love and faith and spiritual connection. Please bless what we are giving now and join us in the offering affirmation. Divine love has me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send it forth with my blessing and my love.
Think of your fellow human, lend them a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late. Oh, please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart.
We open our hearts in gratitude as we release these donations. We send these gifts forward through our congregation and into the world, blessing all that affects. Amen. And now Brad will come up and do some announcements for us.
Good morning. All right, I will do my best to get through this as fast as possible. There are a lot of things going on, which is exciting. So you may have heard we are opening a bookstore. So we are doing a secondhand gift shop type thing. So if you have any spiritual treasures or books or whatnot, we are taking donations and basically just try to recirculate anything that you don't use anymore to help us out and help the community at large. So if you are interested in donating stuff, you can come in during office hours during the week and drop stuff off. We're going to get that open as soon as we can. Don't have a hard date on that yet, but look forward to that. And next weekend we have our pet blessing, and there is not a hard start or end to it, so you can just kind of come by. We're going to set up in the courtyard. You can bring your animals through. You'll get a little certificate and good vibes. I think there's going to be some music and stuff like that, so it should be a fun day. Okay, you can go to the next slide. Also, that evening, we have a private screening of the film Wolf's Message, and a private Q&A with Susan Giesman, who is a pretty big spiritual teacher. She unfortunately can't make it here to the building, but she is going to come in on Zoom, so she's available to answer questions, and so it's a pretty cool opportunity. So put that on your calendars if you have not already bought tickets. Okay, you can go to the next one. Okay, if you are interested in becoming a member and you're not necessarily sure you're a member, or you want to refresh, or you want to do a crash course in membership, December 1st and December 8th, we're going to be doing that on Zoom with Reverend Sandra. You can do it at home, or you will set it up. So if you want to just come in and we'll do it in the library, we'll have, we can set that up for folks too. So if you are interested, there is a sign-up sheet in the lobby for that. We just need it for head count purposes. There's no cost, it's a love offering basis. So ask any of the staff or board members if you have any questions about that. Okay, you can go to the next slide. And we always need help around here. If you want to try your bravery up on the podium, we always appreciate that. We need daily word readers. We need, it is coming up to board election season. So if that's something that you're interested in, board meets once a month to keep us all on track and on the up and up and everything. So we need to, how many? 2 more trustees for next year? Correct, 3 trustees for next year. So think about it. And yeah, we always need help with the bookstore coming up, decorating, stuff like that. Just, we can always use some help. So appreciate that. And now we have reached the end of our gathering. So if you would please rise and circle up and join hands, we will sing the peace song, and the end of our gathering, we will say the prayer for protection. We hope to see you next week, and please bring a friend if you can, and stay and have some goodies afterwards if you're able.
On earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. This be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with God surrounds us. Love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. In God. Hey, namaste, everybody. Thank you.